Which of those four is it when you talked to him about murdering Tupac?
It was really about both of them. Either one. It was
Tupac and Suge, you mean?
Yeah.
Maybe I said that to my boyfriend because he got Tupac killed.
In a major development in the Tupac Shakur murder case, reports indicate that police are now questioning prominent figures in the music industry, including Snoop Dogg and Sean Diddy Combs. According to a recent legal filing, Diddy was mentioned 77 times, prompting authorities to further investigate his alleged involvement. Journalist sources also claim that Tupac may have been cooperating with federal authorities at the time of his death, a revelation that could reshape the narrative surrounding the case. With new updates emerging, arrests and interrogations of key industry figures such as Diddy, Snoop Dogg, and Suge Knight may soon follow.
Well, it turns out when I talked to Tupac's longtime mentor, political mentor, former Black Panther Chokwe Lumumba, who was his first business manager, he's told me, I basically asked, well, was Tupac only pretending to be in order to appeal to gangs and politicize them? And he said yes. And that was part of his thug life agenda they came up with his imprisoned stepfather, Mutulu Shakur. And so Tupac was just using that in order to get the leaders to call peace truces, first in Los Angeles, then throughout California, and then throughout the country. And that was why he was pretending to be this type. And really, he was just an intellectual prodigy.
As rumors spread throughout the music industry that Tupac Shakur was working with federal authorities, a $1 million bounty was allegedly placed on his head, reportedly ordered by Sean Diddy Combs. According to emerging reports, this bounty ultimately led to Tupac being targeted and killed.
On all four of those occasions, there's San Diego, Anaheim, Irvine, and Vegas. Which ones do you actually talk to Puffy at?
Every one.
Every one of them. Which of those four is it when you talk to him about murdering Tupac?
It was really about both of them. Either one. It was
Tupac and Suge, you mean?
Yeah.
As in the new legal filing, it reads former LAPD cop claims that Diddy had Tupac dealt with for $1 million, then Suge retaliated by having Biggie dealt with, as this would end up going viral. 50 Cent would react to it on stage, which goes and reads, 50 Cent says he doesn't like Diddy because he had Tupac gone.
I hate when they leave me to talk because I always say the wrong thing. I was like, last time they left me, I said something about Puffy. You saw that? Yeah! I gotta stop doing that. I've been talking to a therapist trying to help me with the I'm saying. I said crazy for no reason. Oh wait, maybe I said it to my boyfriend because he got Tupac killed.
As with the internet now in a frenzy, this one interview from Diddy would end up going viral where he was confronted on Tupac's death, and he responded very weird.
Now, it was this documentary that claimed, which we know wasn't true.
Yeah, check this out. We don't talk about things that are nonsense. We don't even entertain nonsense, my brother. So we're not even going to go there, with all due respect, but I appreciate you as a journalist asking. Thank you.
Because listen, 7 years ago, I'd have been like, yo, did you hire somebody? But no, you do it like a journalist.
Yeah, no, I mean, we wouldn't even get into nonsense like that. You know what I'm saying? It's nonsense.
Which we never believed, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
Perhaps the most alarming revelation is that Diddy may not have acted alone. Fans have uncovered evidence potentially linking Snoop Dogg to the crime. In a resurfaced interview, Snoop mentions that he was originally supposed to be in the BMW with Tupac and Suge Knight on the night of the shooting, but decided to back out at the last minute. This detail has sparked renewed interest from federal investigators, who are now questioning the extent of Snoop's involvement.
Tupac, though, in regards to Tupac, I heard a story, did you give him different advice that night on where to go?
I didn't give him no advice.
Right.
We wasn't seeing eye to eye.
Right.
So.
Saying during the Tyson.
Yeah, this incident that I'm explaining to you right now was the day before that.
Okay.
So when they got to Vegas, they went their way, I went back. I mean, when we got to LA, they went to Vegas and I went home. That's why I wasn't in the car with them.
As Snoop mentions that he was supposed to be in the BMW, but after last-minute changes he didn't go. This was likely due to Snoop, Tupac, and Suge Knight having an altercation only one day prior.
The last time me and Tupac was on the same page, and I did an interview with Angie Martinez, and she asked me how did I feel about Puffy and Biggie, and I told her that I like their music and I want to do music with them. Bro didn't like that, Tupac didn't like that, so we had a misunderstanding. So on the flight back to LA, I didn't feel comfortable around them for what they had did, as far as I didn't let my security ride with me. So to protect myself and to, prevent from happening, I slept under a blanket with the knife and the fork just in case something was to go wrong, but it didn't.
With all of these developments unfolding within just 48 hours, Tupac's murder has once again come under intense scrutiny. 2 decades ago, Snoop Dogg was deeply connected to the streets, leading many to speculate that he may have received a warning about an impending hit on Tupac, explaining why he chose not to get in the car that night. Adding to the suspicion, federal investigators uncovered another interview in which Snoop reveals that, just 2 days before Tupac's death, he felt as though Tupac hated him. These revelations are prompting renewed questions about what really happened that night in Las Vegas.
I say a week before he died, we was best of friends. 2 days before he died, I don't think he liked me.
Why?
Because we was in New York.
Oh, yeah.
And it happened. New York, they shot at me and did all kind of shit to me, like just the worst you could think of. And I forgave him. And went and did an interview and was asked, how do I feel about Puffy and Biggie? And I was like, I like it. I want to do some music with him. And that just rubbed Cuz the wrong way. Like, tried to kill me, out at you, and you talking about you want to do a song with him. I wasn't thinking about his emotions. I was thinking about the way I felt at the time. I wasn't into no controversy. I liked his music. They was our friends. We was all friends at one point. There's video footage of all of us hanging out.
However, the physical evidence that was shared in the Diddy trial gave the courtroom the chills, as Keffy D, who was hired to do the hit, would explain how. Tupac was taken out by Diddy's wish, as on September 7, 1996, Tupac was in Las Vegas with the head of his record label named Suge Knight. The two were off to the MGM Grand to watch a Mike Tyson match, as after it was over, they spotted an off in the lobby of the hotel.
Knight and their entourage went to the Mike Tyson the MGM Grand. Keffy D and his nephew, Orlando Lane Anderson, and 2 of their friends were also there. Keffy D told LAPD Detective Greg Kading more than a decade ago, in a proffer that couldn't be used against him, the shooting was retaliation after Tupac jumped Orlando and beat him up at the casino. Surveillance cameras recorded the fight. Tupac was angry that Lane had stolen his necklace years prior in Compton. Tupac, Suge Knight, and the entourage left the casino quickly.
Security would break up the altercation between Tupac, Suge, and the ops. This led to Tupac and Suge going back to their hotel to change their clothes. After about an hour, the two would then go off to a club to go party it up for the night at around 11 o'clock p.m. while driving down the strip of Las Vegas. They would end up being stopped at a red light. An opposing vehicle would pull up on Tupac's side, where the altercation would then go down.
About Tupac's concert at the Club 662. Members, including Orlando and Keffy D, jumped in their white Cadillac and started cruising the strip looking for the offender. Before long, they finally spotted Tupac's caravan. At the intersection of East Flamingo Boulevard and Koval Lane, the white Cadillac pulled alongside the black BMW with Suge on the driver and Tupac on the passenger seats. The back window of the Cadillac rolled twice in the chest, once in the arm, once in the thigh.
And Bubble Up was the driver, and Baby Lane and Freaky were in the back seat.
We was just all in the car together. Just say that.
This was the white Cadillac.
Yeah.
So you guys are driving around, and then you hear these girls say, Tupac, Tupac.
Got to the light. We was going to go drink, and he happened to be hanging out the window. He was hanging out the window like he was in parade.
Tupac?
Yeah, he was.
So what happens next? You said that as you're driving up towards the BMW, with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger